Today I'll show you an in-depth look at cleaning the SP and HP. I will be using an SP rapid fire, but this cleaning method applies to all models. The only difference will be in the bolt and the magazines between the SP and HP. First, check the pistol for safety. Remove the magazine and check for an empty chamber. After having done this, you can start. Using the largest Allen wrench, unscrew the barrel. Be sure to hold the bolt in place to prevent it from flying forward. Remove the bolt, the recoil spring, and the guide rod. The easiest place to start will be with the guide rod. Use a patch with some oil to remove any built-up material. We use Weapon Shield lubricating oil for the entire process. Put a few drops on the patch and begin wiping all material that has built up on the rod. Then, using the same patch, you can start cleaning the recoil spring. Insert an edge of the patch at the top of the recoil spring into one of the coils. Then you can begin spinning. This will remove all built-up material. Next is the barrel. There are a few key places to check. You will need to make sure the area where the extractor sits is free of debris. We use bare metal G-tips in order to clean this area. They are nice because they do not leave any fiber or anything of the sort behind. After a few passes, you will have taken all the material away. It is also possible to dip the G-tip into oil. This will help with the cleaning process. Using a patch and oil, remove any material that has built up on the outside of the barrel. Then, apply pressure to clean the entire area of the barrel. You would like to make the bolt move as freely as possible. Make sure to dispose of the patches properly. Using the cleaning kit provided with the pistol, you can begin the process of cleaning the inside of the barrel. First, use the patch cleaning tool. Apply some oil to it in order to remove any excess gunpowder and wax. Run it through a few times. Then, replace the patch tool with the brass brush. Also run it through a few times. This will remove any hard to remove materials. Then replace it with the patch tool again and begin the deep cleaning process. Start with a wet patch, followed by a dry patch. Repeat this process 2 to 3 times. For a deep cleaning, you may want to do it even more. Then finish with a wet patch. This will ensure the barrel is lubricated. Make sure to clean the muzzle and the front sight as needed. There may be built up material in these areas. I darken my sights so you can see me removing it. Now the barrel is done. Begin to hold the bolt. Each bolt varies slightly, but the concept is the same. You want to remove all the built-up material. This is an SP rapid fire bolt, so there is more cutouts. First, using a wet patch, clean as much material as possible. If there are hard to reach areas or the material is too tough to remove, you can use a toothpick to apply extra pressure. You want to make sure to clean these grooves. There will be built up material. This is the area where the bolt runs over the magazine. Typically, you will see wax buildup in this area. If needed, you can use a G-tip to clean these areas better, or a Q-tip. Then to clean the built-up material on the bolt, you'll want to soak some oil into these areas. Rub it in with your finger. Then set the bolt aside in order for it to soak. You can begin the magazine now. Having a clean magazine will eliminate most feeding problems. Push in the plate at the bottom, then make sure to keep your thumb in place and slide the base off. This will allow you to take the spring out. Next is the button. First, clean the spring. The same concept as the recoil spring applies. You want to remove all built-up material. Then the plate, and finally the base. Move the elevator to the lowest possible position to take out the button. You may need a flathead screwdriver if it is stuck. Make sure this button is cleaned and lubricated. This will allow it to go in easily. Then take the elevator out. This will have a lot of built-up material if you use waxy bullets. If needed, you can even use a patch with oil. This will help remove all material. Next is the body. You can use a batch or brush to clean this area. I use both. I like to use the brass brush because it gets any material that is hard to remove. Now that the bolt has soaked, you can finish the cleaning process. Using a G-tip or a Q-tip, you can rub all the material away. You may need to use different size G-tips. Clean all the edges to make sure no material remains. Only for mechanical pistols, put a drop of oil on the top of the bolt. This will help the lubrication process. Do not do this for electronic pistols. Put the recoil spring, guide rod, and bolt back together and set it aside. Now it's time to clean the frame. To clean the frame, use any patch or rag combo. You can also use oil to help, but do not overdo it. If there is buildup, the extra oil will get into the trigger mechanism. You can use a brush as necessary. I like to finish with a lightly oiled patch. Make sure to clean the mag well. I use a brush for it as well. It's possible to use a patch tool to clean this area. Once the frame is clean, you can continue the assembly. You may also want to use an air compressor to blow debris away from the trigger mechanism. Do this on both sides. On my pistol, I sometimes see powder built up. To reassemble the gun, hold the frame horizontal as shown. This makes it easier. Then slide the bolt into place. Make sure to hold the button at the bottom of the pistol. This will lock the bolt in place. Then tighten the barrel. Make sure to secure. It's also good to place a few drops of oil on the barrel as shown. To reassemble the magazine, put the elevator inside the body to where the hole is. Then you can put the button back in place and slide the elevator to the top. Next is the magazine spring. Make sure to put it with the high point facing forward. Push it down with your thumb and hold it in place. Then put the plate in, which will help hold the magazine spring in place better. Then slide the base on. Next, you'll have to make sure that the plate is aligned with the hole. You may need to adjust it. I use a toothpick in this case. After it aligns, you'll want to make sure that it slides into place. I use a flathead screwdriver. Push the elevator all the way down. You'll hear a click once the plate is in place. If you have any questions, contact us at info@pardiniguns.com.